Well, Olympic hero, powerhouse of the pool and nice guy of Aussie sport, Ian Thorpe will always be one of the most celebrated swimmers to don the green and gold.
Those celebrations are all the more fitting as the champion for mental health and self-acceptance ushers in a new phase of his life. After growing up in front of our eyes, Thorpe has turned 40. Doesn't it make you feel old at home? And he's shifting his focus to what's to come.
Sorry, it does actually make us feel old here in the studio as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Not you, Thorpe. Hi.
Yeah, I feel great now.
We're so much older than you. Congratulations. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
How does it feel to be 40, the big 4-0?
Well, do you know, it's a lot better than being 39 because I think you think that things are going to change when you turn 40. And so I'm kind of glad I've got it out of the way and I have another 10 years to worry about the next big birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, like imagine being 50. Wow, that's going to be scary.
Oh my God, yeah.
What'd you do to celebrate?
Yeah.
Well, it was my mum. My mum had a significant birthday this year as well, so I went up with my family.
She must be nearly 50 as well.
Look, I know, she turned 45. But I was up with my family for 3 or 4 days on Hamilton Island, and then I was joined by my friends after that on Hamilton at Qualia. So
beautiful.
It was fun.
That's the way to do it.
Nice, nice. You feature in this month's edition of Men's Health. The story starts by describing you as faintly ill at ease in front of the camera. So, do you enjoy this sort of stuff?
I've become more used to it, I guess. It's not that I enjoy it, it's not that I dislike it, but it's kind of, it's not something that you do every day. You guys are more used to what you do and feel more familiar with what you do, you know, working on this show. And I guess it's the same in front of the camera. And even though I've been doing it for a long time, it still is a little daunting.
Dare I say, fish out of water?
There's so many puns. You know, I was thrown in the deep end, you know, up the creek without a paddle, head above water.
Wow. The Olympic commentary team's really missed you and stuff like that. Can we talk about young Ian for a little while?
Sure.
Because you say your parents had a strict rule around the house when it came to your swimming. What was that?
Well, it was kind of taking on the right responsibility for what I was doing, and it was always making sure that I woke up my parents and not that they were waking me up for training. So it was kind of saying, well, if you want to do this, you have to be committed to it. We're not going to be the ones that wake you up. I think it was my parents' way of saying, we really want to sleep in, and please skip the alarm like from time to time, which I never really did. So it's kind of, and the other rule that they had, you know, if I committed to a season of something, it was always seeing that season through. And I think that's kind of the right amount of support and discipline that comes from parents.
But you also know that is because they paid the registration fee of $187.
You're ruining my childhood, okay? You just said I was young. Stick with that.
I noticed he did say young Ian, not little Ian, because you were never little.
No.
Well, you know you today as a man who owns his identity, isn't afraid to tackle big conversations about stuff. In comparison to the Ian we may have met all those years ago, are you really proud of where you sit now?
Yeah, I think it's kind of being able to mature into the person that you are. And I think you mentioned before, you know, I kind of grew up in front of everyone's eyes. And, you know, now it's kind of a time where I'm more comfortable in the person that I am, the kind of character I am. I'm more relaxed in who I am. And I think in getting older, the one really important thing that you learn is when you can be mature and when you get to be immature. And both are as important as each other.
Yeah, good point. Do you ever stop and wonder where you would be if you hadn't first dived into the pool all those years ago?
No, because it's bizarre. Like for me, like it's bizarre.
It's been your life. It's been your whole life.
It's quite unique, and you know, there's things that pop up, and it's just like. My life is really odd, but it's also fantastic. You know, it's kind of, you get to enjoy the world and you have this perspective that the world has actually brought you up. You've learnt from it and you bring that to the things that you do. So, you know, thinking of what my life would look like without swimming being part of it, it's really hard now because it has been there for so long.
Everything,
Is swimming part of anything that you do now? At all?
I do swimming commentary, and I have a
well,
shower.
Yeah.
I go to the beach.
No, I mean day in, day out.
I actually can't. I had a shoulder surgery, so in having that surgery, I can't swim. And when I say that, I can't swim laps. I can catch a wave, but technically I'm not supposed to be able to.
But you have no desire to coach?
I mentor, which is the same as being an uncle. So it's all of the fun and not much of the responsibility.
Right.
So I prefer that, and I prefer giving the athletes, you know, some insights and life lessons that you can learn, or looking at strategy in the pool and how you present for these kind of competitions. Right. But that day in, day out, of waking up in the morning, no, it's a roller coaster ride as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow, you really are now a fish out of water. See what I did there? I used the fish out of water. You say turning 40 may be inspiring you to make some other spontaneous decisions, right? We wanted to show you this Twitter exchange when a TV critic said an iconic Australian TV show will be announced as returning. Hans, the German friend of the show, suggested Thorpe's Undercover Angels. What do you reckon?
And about time.
Yeah, or not. As I said, I've become more comfortable in front of the camera than what I was then, so hopefully that doesn't happen.
What? No, you're more comfortable now than you were. Look at you.
I know.
Stuff. This is...
I know, it's hilarious.
So
it's
how
very
old?
funny.
Remind us how old you were.
I'm like 17 or 18, I think.
Oh, wow.
And look how big your hands are that you can fit
I
three
know,
women
three
on
girls
there.
on there.
Scanning. That was a great
How
show.
good. It was about going and doing good in the community, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was.
Which is
It was. Like, there was a great concept
was a
behind
great
it.
concept.
The delivery behind it wasn't always that good. So we ended up giving out a lot of puppies to people, and that might be the solution for people. But it's about, actually, it is funny.
I love it.
And I have some great friends from it as well.
Jack, look at Jackie O. Wow.
Love it.
Isn't it funny? I have this now designed to sit
Yeah,
down
now
and
you wanna watch it.
episode, right? To read more from Ian, you can pick up a copy of Men's Health magazine celebrating Ian turning 40.